But Daniel Jones signing with the Colts. Did you have any thoughts on this one, Charles? Because I just had a couple ideas, but we've talked plenty about Anthony Richardson, and this feels like a continuation of that discussion we've had about him.
I mean, why? I actually like the idea of having Daniel Jones as a backup quarterback. As just a backup, he's better than a lot of guys. The problem is, he just wasn't good enough as a starter. But as a backup, he
good athlete.
Can be fine.
You can win games with a guy that can run around like this. Yeah.
I don't get why he is competing for the starting job, though. What has he done to make you think, I'd rather try that than just seeing whatever I can squeeze out of 1 year of Anthony Richardson before, they probably move on to something else.
Before we all get fired.
Right before we all get fired. And it doesn't... I'm trying to figure out the right way to frame this, because I think that Anthony Richardson obviously could have played better up to this point than he has. But you kind of knew this is what you were getting into when you were the Colts. So just to not even really try to see it all the way through and just eat it, like all the development that you're going to have to get in these games, has just been a little bit baffling to me. Like, why did you bother even drafting them before if you were never even really going to get that far? Now we got, Pat McAfee saying, "Oh, you don't even want to know what I know about Anthony Richardson." I'm like, man, what is it? What's going on here? Like, I don't understand how they got to the point where Daniel Jones is supposed to be someone that can compete for this job, but I don't really understand a lot of things the Colts have done over the past few years. So, including hiring Jeff Saturday. Last year, benching Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco. I don't know how that was supposed to help. Just a lot of weird decisions along the way, and now this is just another one to me.
Yeah, flailing is a word. Anthony Richardson is 3 days older than Cam Ward. 3 days, not 3 years. 3 days. Cam Ward's about to get drafted. He is younger, several months. I think 4 months younger than Shadur Sanders. He is very young. He's still 22. He turns 23 in May. That's what the whole Anthony Richardson experience was supposed to be. Take your lumps, and hopefully in year 3, you start to see the real, okay, this is why we drafted him. In year 4, you're like, okay, we're off to the races. Now we're competing because we got a dude at quarterback. I thought this was curious. I know that what I've heard through the grapevine, of course, with the whole benching and the lead up to that was Richardson, maybe they did not have, God, it's hard to use this without kind of like people running with it, or to say this without people running with it, was that he works hard, but they were maybe expecting the franchise quarterback to work even harder. But I also think that's part of the things with being spoiled with having Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Philip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett, Matt Ryan, all these quarterbacks that have come in the past that maybe have spoiled this franchise a little bit. But they said that after he got benched, he did kind of take that a little bit and he got motivated a little bit. And I think Albert Breer also reported that they felt like benching Anthony Richardson last year with Joe Flacco taking his job lit a fire under the number 4 2023 number 4 overall pick. So Indy hopes bringing in Jones will push Richardson to firmly turn the corner. Sounds like a Batman gambit to me. It's kind of everything's got to line up for that to work. Yeah, like idealistically, let's say Jones does start and he actually plays well for you, as some people seem like they want him to do. Mike Silver reported that he would consider him the favorite to win the job, as others have said as well. Okay, you have him on a 1-year deal. Now what? Now what's the plan? Wow, masterful gambit, sir. So that's where, okay. And also the signings before, bringing in Joe Flacco to be the backup. If you were worried about the learning to be a franchise quarterback, you signed Joe Flacco, whose whole MO, whose whole reputation is that he's aloof, that he didn't work as hard as he should have to be the franchise quarterback. So it's like, that's the guy you brought in. Andrew Luck, when he started out, had Matt Hasselbeck in his room. That's a great vet to have, and Luck didn't probably need that, but that's a great guy to be a sounding board. Having that true vet guy in there that started games, and I always thought that they should have get Jacoby Brissett back, because I think he's that perfect role guy in this stage of his career as well, that just knows his role, great teammate guy, teach a guy to be a pro. Guess who Drake May had last year? Jacoby Brissett. So that's what, just don't understand any of this. It's all robbing Peter to pay Paul. maybe we'll see what happens at the end of August. I think Richardson wins this job. I think this is all BS about it, but they signed him for $14 million for a reason. I guess that's a expensive motivation to me on stuff that the coaches in the franchise should be doing. You guys should be the ones guiding them along. But rant over.